So quite a number of you ask, what do I use to fertilize my plants to make the garden look so good? And my response usually, more often than not, would be to every plant, there's a different method or means of fertilizing them for them to do well, because they're their own individual plants, just like we are our own individual human beings. And so this morning, I'm going to show you how I fertilize my squashes and watermelons and cucumbers. Those three plants I treat the same. So I'm going to share with you how I do that, and so your garden can explode just like mine is. My name is Marie, and this is our container garden where currently we grow all of our food, fresh fruits and vegetables that we eat at home. And by now, you know, if you've been following me, that I utilize free, homemade, organic material to fertilize everything that you see growing in my garden. Now, this in my hand, this is wood ash, and this is from our coal stove that we use to cook our meals. So we like to cook like curry goat and rundown and soups. Those stuff we like to cook on a coal stove. Now we do not waste the ash. We save this and we use it in our garden for our squashes, cucumbers, and watermelon. All I do, you can either sprinkle this onto the surface of the soil, you can mix it into the soil, or you can mix it into a tea and use it to water. I do all of those, but this morning I'm going to show you another way that works really quick and effective. So in my bucket here, I have composted material that we made ourselves at home in here, and inside of there I also have charcoal and horse manure. Yes, horse manure is in this one. And what I do is I combine the ash with the composted material. Just combine it like so. And now we have a rich, very rich composted soil that we're going to just top dress the cucumber container with. This is another part of that set of 3 tools that I showed you in previous videos. I'll link in the description, guys. These are really sturdy. I'll just drop a link in the description for your ease of shopping. Look, the video is not sponsored, it's just something that I like to use. No, this is just one part of the treatment that I give to the plants. I have second thing that I do that I'm going to show you once I've finished top dress these. I also have a cucumber in this one, and what I did not show you is this one started fruiting. Usually I feed the cucumbers and the melon, all of them I feed them once they start to fruit. So this one that I just top dressed, it has little fruits on it, and it has trellis all the way to the top of the trellis, and it is doing fantastic. There are plenty fruits on it, but they're really heavy feeders, so at this point I have to provide them with feeding or they won't do well. Only other way is to use that commercial fertilizer that I really do not plan on using, because I want my cucumber. They might be smaller, but I want them to be sweet and crunchy, and this is why I use the organic stuff. This is another cucumber that is flowering right in here and putting on fruits. Just give it a little. This is my yellow crooked neck squash, and it is doing fantastic. Now why I feed them with the additional, because usually, you know, I just top dress with my composted animal manure. Why we add the ash, the wood ash to the soil is to provide them with some more potassium. Squashes need a lot of potassium to develop their fruits. And so while the manure provide a lot of nitrogen to give them nice, big, pretty, healthy leaves to feed the plant, they need potassium to develop the fruit. And that is why we add the wood ash. It is free and it is very, very good fertilizer. So we top dress with this as well. And then I'm going to supercharge this with another ingredient. So please stay tuned to the end of the video. Guys, please like and share the videos, because I know if it is benefiting you, there is somebody who is not seeing the video that needs the benefit also. This crooked neck squash is doing fantastic. There are so many fruits on there. Some I wouldn't even attempt to count them. There's so many on there, and it has both male and female flowers. So I help them to pollinate. I help to pollinate them as well, but they should do fine on their own because it has both male and female flowers on it. But just in case, let me show you how I help to pollinate my squashes. Let me bring you a little closer. So on your squash plants, you're going to see two types of flowers. This one that is attached to the little fruit, that is the female flower. And then we have some more here. There is no fruit attached. That is the male flower. Inside, the little sex organs are also different. This one kind of look like a little flower inside, and then this male flower that I'm going to use to pollinate as a little, let me show you. It looks like a human genitalia. Well, both of them kind of do. This can be eaten. You can fry this into a chips and eat it, or put it in your stir fries. I really have too many things in the garden to eat that, but it can be eaten. Now, this is what the male flower, the little sex organ, looks like. And on that little thing, it has a lot of pollen dust. All I do is to just spread those pollen dust onto the female flower on the inside, rub it all around. Usually insects will go into this one. The dust will collect on their bodies and then they'll crawl into the female, and that's how it is pollinated naturally. But if you don't have a lot of insects, you don't have bees and so on, if you're growing in a enclosed area, say for example you have netting over it, this is how you can help to pollinate your squashes to ensure that you get fruits. Please let me know if that was helpful. All right, let's move on, because we have our watermelons and I have another squash over here that we need to, and then get to our other fertilizing method. And you can just leave the male in there, just like so. This is a little honey nut squash. It has no male flowers on it. I can use the same flower from that one to pollinate, and I did. And so we might get a squash right here. Let me give it a little fertilizer as well to help that little fruit to develop. I might get it, I might not, but it's worth a shot, and there are more coming on, so I treat it the same way. No prejudice behavior. I have one more up here. This is also fruiting, and the male flowers are very late out of the gate. I don't know why my squashes always put female flowers out first. Pollinated some, so hopefully we get some from this one as well. Let me just give it some of my composted fertilizer, just in case I get even one from it. All right, let's move on to the watermelon. So right here I have a watermelon that is doing fantastic, and on it there are blossoms coming on, and that is when I usually treat them, as I said to you. They're also bugs on there, so I'm gonna have to treat them for bugs as well. But there are blossoms on there, and I am seeing the first fruit appearing. So this is the time I usually feed them. So let me, and I mulch this one already, so I'm gonna have to pull the mulch back away from the soil a little and then pull it back over, because it is a heavy feed as well. As you would imagine, watermelons are huge juicy fruits, so it needs moisture. So I'm gonna pull this back and place the compost in there along with the wood ash. This they do so well. I need to plant some pumpkin because this is one of the things. Growing up, our parents used to pile wood, burn it, and then when it cools, we plant the pumpkin seeds in there and never fertilize it after that. So the charcoal that is remaining in that location and the wood that holds all the nutrients that the plant need for its entire life. We never fertilize pumpkin. After doing that, in the country produces huge pumpkins. And so I need to start practicing that principle again. We did it when we just got the property to purchase, but for some reason, I don't know why we stopped. So we need to start doing that again. And then just pull the mulch back over that rich soil. I have one here as well. I do the same thing. Just pull the mulch back. Put my fertilizer in. This is planted in with the kneesberry. And kneesberry plant is putting on branches. This might help it out too, you never know. I'm gonna do a second video on how I take care of the pest on these, so please stay tuned for that. That's gonna come up shortly because I am seeing pest on them. Can't work. All right, I have one more over this side. Is that so? Yeah, one more. All of them seem to be producing. That's good. They were all planted at the same time anyhow. I'm removing weeds as well because we don't want to feed the weeds. We want to feed our watermelon. And this is planted with a lime tree. They're both doing fantastic. Thing is, when you companion plant like this, to make use of your space, you have to feed twice as much. All right. I missed this cucumber and one over there as well. Might have to do some off camera. This is also producing. I'm seeing a little fruit on it. And well, two fruits. And this is the tender green cucumber. So I'm planting this for the first time. So I'm looking forward to tasting what this tastes like. How many plants in here? Two. Okay. I'm gonna have to do some more for the others as this is finished. Now for the magic ingredient. This is my banana tea, and over here I have compost tea and I have manure tea as well. But for the squashes, the banana tea is critical for the same reason. Then those type of plants, they need a lot of potassium to develop their fruits. Now banana tea has several other nutrients, as I shared with you in a previous video where I focus mainly on the banana tea. So if you've not seen that one, please check it out, or I'll link it in the description for you. But this we made together with ripe banana peels, added it to water, and I have this. This has been soaking here for more than 2 weeks, but it can be used after 7 days. It can be used. Now I know some of you said you made it and There are worms in there. I've never seen worms in my banana tea. The thing is, once there is space for flies to get in, they'll lay their eggs in there, and that is how you get the worms. So you want to cover it so that it has access to air. You need oxygen in there for those microbes to remain alive and work, but try and cover it so fly can't get in there, and netting or something so the flies won't get inside of your banana tea. So I've never seen worms in mine, but I've seen worms in my compost bucket that is not covered. So yes, so I'll just, ideally this would have been better if I had the banana peels, but there are ripe bananas in here as well, in a net, so I don't have to strain it. But guys, I just use what I have now. I probably will get a net later on. So I'm just skimming off the water, and then I'm gonna just refill my bucket and make more. Now this is really strong, so I don't need a lot. And it does not smell as bad as the compost tea or the manure tea. Those have a really strong odor. This does not. As I'm right here and I'm not smelling it. But those, you would smell it through the screen if I open those two. All right, so let's get back to the plants. Now this is really concentrated, so I'm going to pour it on the soil. And the reason why I did not dilute it, usually I would dilute it, it's because I'm going to water them in right after I'm done with the video. So you just need a little, pour it onto the soil, not onto the plant, and then water it in. But if you're not going to be watering, dilute it 1 to 10. And then you just leave it and watch your plants do amazing. Forgot about this one. There's a cucumber growing in here as well, with my dashings. And it is also producing. So let me feed it. You know what? Let me feed my tomato too, because I see fruits on there. This is the best fertilizer for tomatoes. The best. I'm going to have to go back for some because I didn't plan on fertilizing my tomatoes. But they're producing. Seeing some fruits right there. Awesome. I want to tell you that this also is good for the corns too. So this one I'm going to put a little extra. I'm going to go get some more to go down to the watermelon and for the squashes up here. Beautiful. This bean right here, looking a bit yellow too. I think this is a yard long bean, so why not? Why not? I need to put it on something. The running bean. Need to get it up on something. So yes, that is how I fertilize my squashes, my cucumbers, and my watermelons for them to produce so well. And guys, in the past, I just kind of drop my hand when it come on to the vining um vegetables and fruits in the garden because one year the pest just took out everything. I just did not have the time to do proper pest control and it just broke my spirit, and so I just stopped planting them for a while. But when I used to plant them, guys, they did absolutely fantastic. Huge watermelons and massive, massive cucumber harvest. And not to mention the pumpkins. One time we harvested a whole wheelbarrow of pumpkin, and that was the only thing that we sold out of our garden. Well, Gary sold them for us, made quite a bit of money off of it. It was a lot of pumpkin, and we gave away so many and had so much more left. And so he said, take them to him and he would sell them for us. And we got a good money from it. So we've done extremely well with these. And it's just the natural ingredients from home that I use. So I hope you take something from this, guys. Let me know in the comments if you learned anything. Let me know if there's anything else that you want me to talk to you about or show you to do. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you always. Thank you for the tremendous support. Welcome to our new subscribers, and to our oldies, continue hanging in there with us. We appreciate you all. To my members, thank you for the contribution. For those of you who offer super thanks under the videos, thank you. And for those of you who offered super chat on the lives, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. All of those contributions will be put towards our giveaway coming up the end of April. And I hope to see you all out. Come out and just meet and have a good time and share seeds with each other. You can come and share with your fellow gardeners as well. Thank you for the support. We appreciate you here at Farming on the Rocks. See you in the next one. Bye for now.